Hi, Dennis. Let me just take a minute looking at your course to see if I understand what you're talking about in terms of creating buttons. I'll go ahead and do that and then show you one other thing that might be interesting here. So we go to customization, teaching style, and that gives us a lot of options. You can go in there and actually pick course structures, which I think is really kind of neat. I've experimented with that, and it gives you a rough idea of how to set up your course. You can alter it along the way. It also gives you the option to do an entry point here. It's only going to pick what you already have for buttons. Um, so let me go ahead and actually create an announcement button first, and then I'm going to go in to this menu again and pick colors and things like that. Um, so for example, you've got home page here, um, and to me that's a little messy. You may want to keep that for your students, but I'm going to go ahead and create an announcements area. And I've used the tool link because the tool link gives you a drop-down menu of pre-programmed options. So I'm going to call that announcements, make it available to users. I personally like to use the announcements with students as a way to get their attention. Okay, so now we've got an announcements area there. I'm also going to move it to the top. Again, that's sort of personal preference, and of course you can change all this later. So now I'm going to go back to teaching style and customization, through customization, I should say. And I'm going to pick that announcements page as the first page. But again, you can go back and change all that through this menu area. Now to create particular buttons, they show up in text. We're going to go ahead and click that, buttons. And then interestingly here, it gives you a button library. So this is where you get to pick all your own colors. And I think you've got kind of a gray scheme. I personally like to go with a little bit of stripes to break it up. They can also be rectangular or round. Like I said, you've got the gray, so let's go with the silver and black right now. And that changes those buttons. And then we always in Blackboard have to go down and submit things. So it never takes until we do that. So you notice now you've got some square buttons there, and again, the color is subject to change depending upon what you do. Okay, now here's instructor information. Now when you click on that, what you've done is you've picked a content area, and you've put your information in there, and that's fine because they're going to see that. But I'm going to copy that and show you the other thing we can do to make it more convenient for future copy overs and all that sort of thing. I'm going to go ahead and use a tool link again and use a predefined function called contacts. Kind of a strange way they did it, but that's just the way it is. And you can type anything in there that you want. Professor's information, instructor, whatever. And now we've created that button. So what'll happen when we do that, and I'm going to move it up top. I like to put it in a place where students can access the information. You could even put contact information. Okay, so what we'll do now that I've clicked on it, I'm going to create a contact, and that will pre-format everything for you. Now, since I've cut and pasted things, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in that box. And we'll do this. Whichever salutation you want there. Oops. I'm using a microphone now. I'm not much of a typist. Get your email in there, so that'll give them a hot link to the email. And I don't see any phone there, but we'll do all that for now. The other thing you can do at this point is down here where the browse is, you can add a picture. And that's how I put my picture in there, and Mary Lou's got a picture in. So once we hit submit, okay, it wants a valid email address. What do we got there? Oh, we just have a comma in there. Okay, the dot's in there. So now what'll happen as soon as we make it available, sorry about that, forgot that part. That's the other thing in Blackboard, a lot of times you have to go in and click the make it available area. So now as soon as the student enters the course, you could have an announcement area, and then when they go to instructor information, it'll go to a pre-formatted email, office location, that sort of thing. and you could go in and put your office hours in there simply by doing the drop down and edit. So that's a couple little tricks. Maybe that's what you're getting at, and if not, just let me know and we can chat about this. Thanks.